Hi, everyone. My name is Mariam Safi, and I am the Vice Chair of AES Germany section. Again, this is my pleasure to welcome you to the second research colloquium of AES Germany with the topic of hearing profiles and music preferences. This colloquium will be held in English, and it will start with a presentation of Professor Diana Derval, and will end with a Q&A session at 6 o'clock. Please note that the presentation will be recorded. So by turning on your camera, you are actually consenting for your image to be used in a photograph of this event. One more information for you is on our website, you can find more information about this research colloquium or the upcoming events that we have in the future, or any other events that are happening around you by subscribing our newsletter. Now I would like to invite Banu to say some words about AES Germany and what we are doing and who we are. So Banu, welcome.
Thank you, Mariam, for the introduction. Hi to you all. I'm speaking on behalf of the AES Germany, which is a section of the Engineering Society in country Germany. Yeah, and we are on duty since January 2022, and we have been very busy with building this newly united section, which was handed over from North, Central, and South Germany sections. And we are, you can see our regions in the table there. We have in total 10 regions with 2 advisories that we are applying their opinions time to time for especially legal stuff. They see also some known faces from our society already. And 2 of them are online today with us, Tobias and Raphael. They are then the regional leaders of Stuttgart region and Karlsruhe region. We have other regional leaders also throughout Germany, which you can reach through these newsletters that Mariam has just shared. Please feel free to contact us, connect us, and support us. We'll be very happy to contact you.
Thank you so much, Banu. For the first, this is from my side. So now I would like to invite Tobias to introduce our speaker for today. So Tobias, the microphone is yours.
Thank you very much. Our today's presenter is Diana Derval. She's a pioneer in decoding human behavior and preferences with biosciences. She has a PhD and an Executive Master of Business Administration and is the chair of DervalResearch. She is an associate professor at the Dunya University in Shanghai, a member of the AES, IEEE, SBN, and the jury for the CES Asia Innovation Awards. Diana uses her findings to advance research for a better immune system, hormonal balance, and microbiome. In social media, you may have already recognized her by the cool purple hat, but that's not all. Through her company and research, she has been able to patent several innovations. She is a regular presenter in the media and at conferences, such as the last AES conference, and she's also a writer and contributor for a number of journals and magazines. Diana turns fascinating neuroscience breakthroughs into powerful business frameworks, and with her work, she helped several well-known companies to accelerate their development with a focus on sustainable and people-friendly products and experiences. Diana's favorite topics are senses and sensors, hormones and behavior, and everything that touches innovation. So that's a very impressive CV. I think we can be glad that she found the time to attend our colloquium. So without further ado, I would like to hand over to Diana. The microphone is yours.
I will
Wow.
stop sharing.
Vielen Dank, Tobias. Guten Abend. Hello, everybody. I feel bad. I was writing some silly things in my biography. I didn't think you would read it all. So thank you so much. No, I'm very happy to be with you. Thanks, Tobias. Thanks, Rafael, also to introducing me to IES and to the whole IES team for having me. I'm really delighted. So I have to apologize a bit for the quality of my sound. I know it's not perfect, so I hope you will be, disregarding it, and I will still be able to share our findings properly. So you have to know that everything I will share with you was also a bit more developed in a conference article, and I think IES member must have access to that article as well. Yeah. So then I will get started. So you can look at the slides, look at my face, alternate, so you are free, you have control. So maybe I want to introduce you to the topic. So why hearing pattern and music preferences? It all started with some research we were doing for sound systems company. And of course, company designing sound system were very busy with, the fidelity of the sound, the quality of the sound, how it's amplified, even in which room you would play the music, the color of the wallpaper. No, I'm exaggerating, I'm adding a bit to it. But what was less, I felt, looked into was how people perceive the sound. And observing around us, when you look at the household, the family, friends, often people cannot agree on the volume of the music or of a movie. So I thought that was something to explore, something I wanted to explore. So our hypothesis we started with is maybe just people do not hear sound in the same way. So when I say do not hear sound in the same way, it means even if you take, let's say, so-called healthy people, who were not abusing the rave party and the techno parade and everything, people who do not have known hearing problems, maybe still you have some differences in the way they perceive the sound. And that's what we wanted to investigate. So I must say that when we started the research, I had no idea about what we were starting. I had no idea about how you could even measure that, but that was the vision. So what I discovered quickly is that, of course, we are supposed to perceive sound between 20 hertz, 20 kilohertz, something like that, like a bit in between the elephant and the bats, something like that. But there was not much information about how well we could hear sound. There was a bit of information when people are elder that they hear less well. Yeah, there was information. And also you had information about newborns who could have issues hearing. So that inspired us, because you have to know that when the baby is born, the doctor is coming. So I didn't know that either, the doctor is coming with a little device and is measuring the ears. And the device is saying if it's a pass or a fail, and then if the baby has a hearing problem. So I was intrigued by that. And this device, what it was doing, it was measuring the OtoAcoustic emissions. So the story is like when we receive a sound in our inner ear, you have many hair cells that are vibrating, each specializing in a different frequency, and they are sending the electric signal to the brain. The story is when they vibrate, they emit their own little sound that is called the OtoAcoustic emission. So the device that was put in the ear was sending frequencies and measuring the response. I thought it was fantastic. And we were able to quickly locate a more advanced clinical device that instead of just saying fail or pass, could tell us accurately for each frequency how well the sound was amplified. So following that, we found some volunteers, our ear guinea pigs. So it's a totally harmless procedure. It's non-invasive. So we were able to group people, same age, same blah, blah, everything. And we were able to measure their otoacoustic emission. Based on that, so here's a little picture of the device. So you see it's portable on top of it. It's not for free, huh? But we were lucky enough, we were partnering. I should maybe cite them with InterAcoustic. They were providing us with a device so we could do this experiment. So what we did is we measured at different frequency. Of course, we were limited by the device, even if it was a clinical device. The idea was more to detect health problems. So this device was not going much in the bass. So it was more measuring from, I think, 500 hertz to 10, 12 kilohertz. Yeah, so that was the range we were measuring. But still, we could see tremendous differences. Here I put a grouping. We were able to group people in 3 categories. So here's a snapshot. I think this snapshot is at 6 kilohertz. So 6 kilohertz is like a mosquito, you know, like a very loud mosquito, a very high-pitched mosquito. So this type of frequency, you will see that we could segment people into 3 categories. Some people were hearing this frequency 20 times louder than others, 4 times louder than others, which is 20 decibel difference. Yeah, 20 decibel difference, 4 times louder, maybe even, 40 decibel difference for some people. It was just amazing, with no hearing problems or whatsoever. So based on that, we grouped people in 3 categories. So I think this 6 kilohertz was probably the most segmenting frequency that we saw. Recently, we read some paper where in some clinical setting, they were also using the 6 kilohertz. So it seems to be an indicator of something. So we grouped people in 3 categories. One category we called non-amplifier. So non-amplifier are people who hear bass not so good. Yeah, they don't hear so well bass, which means that their ear is not amplifying bass. So they need extra devices. They need to invest in audio equipment to be able to amplify bass a bit more. And usually it's the people who will put, because we also, at the same time that we measured the hearing profile, we inquired a bit about their hearing habits and preferences. And that's the people who will put the bass very loud. They will invest in a boombox and so on. That's the people. Then we had what we called medium amplifier. Medium amplifier, they would hear voice less than the rest, which was then a bit bothering them in conversation. So they cannot hold the conversation if there's background noise. So they are the people during a meeting who will go and close the door of the meeting room because otherwise they don't hear anything. If they are watching, let's say, action movies, then they will have, they will not hear what is being said through the explosions. You know, it will be very problematic for them. So these people are very happy when they have a TV set or a device where you can put the voice a bit higher, you know, so you don't have the good equalizer on all the devices, but when you have it, they're very. Then you have the third category. So these are the, I want to say, the poor people who hear, 4 times louder than the other. We call them super amplifier. So super amplifier, they hear 4 times louder, so everything is too loud. High pitch is too loud, bass is too loud, cutlery noise is terrible, someone fumbling a newspaper is horrible. So they are very, very sensitive to all types of sounds. And among all types of sound, the most annoying was the high pitch. Yeah? The high pitch then was painful to them. Yeah? So it's true that it's good to highlight that sound is a vibration, and a sound that is too loud is painful. Yeah, because it's really like it's like a slap in your face. You know, it's a very painful. Some people seem, but that's maybe another research we could do, to be more connected to pain than others. Yeah, so some people can take more volume than other people. Yeah, so that's very interesting. So what we wanted to look at, now we understood better the hearing profile, we wanted to understand the music preferences. So in terms of music preferences, we also had many endless discussion on the music genre. Yeah. So for sure, some research has already been done on, for instance, the rhythm. Yeah. That people, when they can themselves choose a rhythm, they will tune it so that it becomes closer to the rhythm of their heart, for instance. Or there was some research done on personality and music genre and things like that. What was less investigated is the frequency itself, because what we discovered is people, based on their hearing profile, they will be more sensitive to some type of noise. Yeah. So people who are super amplifier, they cannot take baby crying. You know. People who are medium amplifier are annoyed by bass. So I was wondering, how would this not possibly translate into the music preferences somehow? So the complexity with music genre is, in the same genre, you can have very different type of sounds. Yeah. So if you listen to metal, you can listen to a high-pitched guitar solo, or you can listen to a bass doom music. Same for jazz. So what we did is, instead of asking people about their favorite music genre, we asked them to share their favorite tunes. So they just send us their favorite tunes, and we made a spectrogram of them. You know, so we made a spectrogram out of the tunes, and then we compared these spectrogram to their own hearing pattern. So again, there were some limitation because the spectrogram was much more precise in the bass. The OtoAcoustic emission measured, we had a little bit less in the bass, but still we were able to find some nice and interesting pattern. So what we found out is that people who do not hear so well the bass, they will actually love music that has that is more intense in the bass. You know, so that is very interesting, and it makes sense. In the same way, people who will love a high-pitched guitar solo, they will not hear so well this frequency. Yeah? So similar observations were made with phone. With the phone, actually, people often tend to select a ringtone that they love, but often they love ringtone in frequency they do not hear. So then you have this comic situation where it's your friends telling you that your phone is ringing. You know? So it's due to that. It's due to that somehow, from our measurement and observation, we can say that people tend to love music in frequency they do not hear that well. So you know, so that's for so here, for instance, you can see at one kilohertz, you can see that the loudest music is for the people who hear less at 1 kilohertz. So this is when we grouped per profile, but when you look close individual by individual, it's even more obvious, because if you look at the hearing profile of someone, it's not like an even distribution. Yeah. So even people who hear better in the bass, maybe at 75 hertz, there's a hole. There's a place where no hair cell, you know, is working. And then you see that suddenly they're listening to music that is louder in this area. So it's quite fascinating. So I think, but it would require probably to do the research on more people with more sound. So what I can say, so I put here my QR code, my email, in case you have question later on, you know, or of course, or maybe now, but if you have a question later on. But what is sure is that you have many reasons why people will like music. It can be the rhythm, it can be, you know, how it sounds, you know, the mood. But what is certain is the frequency will scare you away from certain type of music. So for instance, someone who was I didn't see any person sensitive in the group, you know, we observed sensitive to high pitch, loving saxophone. That doesn't exist. Yeah. So I think that's an interesting indication, which helped us then to apply that in different fields. So we were able to apply it in different fields. First field was to fine-tune the instrument and sound system. For instance, based on that, we were able to do a mapping and to say, okay, in this country, you have more people, or in this area or this city, you have more people sensitive to bass, less people sensitive to high pitch. People are more sensitive to distortion or to fidelity. So you need at the factory level to change the setting of the device. So that's the first application. The second application is, of course, but that has been done already a couple of years ago, because some of these findings, we couldn't disclose them before more recently, to use this autoacoustic emission to detect your hearing pattern and to suggest an equalizer, of course. And this has been done since then and patented. Other applications are about music that you will play in public spaces. Yeah, in public spaces, what is sure is the music, the type of frequency that is the least annoying for everybody is pop music, because you don't have much bass, you don't have much treble. Yeah, so this is the ideal music for public spaces. So of course, it will not please everybody because it's not entertaining enough or immersive enough for people who need the bass because they are relaxed by the bass, or people who need the high pitch. But I would say it's a safe choice. It's a safe choice. In doubt, public spaces, go for pop. If you are in a hotel, in a lounge, and you know exactly who your target persona are and what is their hearing profile, of course, you can do something that is better targeted. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. Thank you so much for joining and for giving me this opportunity to share our findings.
So thank you so much, Diana, for the great presentation. We also would like to thank Elena Shabalina for organizing and well establishing the previous events of Research Colloquium during past 2 years under AES South German section, with also Raphael and Tobias, who are today here and still strongly are supporting us. We just tried to say thank you to you for everything you did during the last 2 years. Hi, would you say some words about your experience with Research Colloquium, and I don't know, whatever you find interesting to share with us right now?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and altogether for going on with the colloquium. This is so great to see that it's going on, and it was a very nice presentation, Diana, very interesting. It's also great to see how much is going on now with the Great Unified German section. So it's really nice that so many people jumped on what we started and making it better, making more of it. So good job, everyone. I hope it goes on like this.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. We hope that we will see you during next events as well, and we will definitely come back to you and bother you again at some point.
That sounds like a plan.
So many thanks to you, Elena. And then let's just go to the Q&A session, and then see you there in the next meeting. Thank you again.